So yeah, we're gonna drink a little wine. I know you don't drink much, but you'll be alright. It's my best bottle. My last bottle too. So this concept that we were talking about earlier is about the way I see a relationship, because everybody seems to think there's about, the question is, what do you bring to the table? A further analogy is in times of disagreement or tense times in a relationship, women are trained to just clean the table, just wipe everything off the table and go back to scratch. And basically, my idea is, as a man, as I lead a relationship, as I teach and grow and train and invest in a woman, I'm setting things at the table, right? And then whenever I make a mistake, women have, in their own right, they seem to be absolutely okay with it. If a man makes a mistake, you know, just ripping everything down off the table. Oh, jeez. And so, can you give me one of those nuggets? Or you could just throw the whole thing.
That would work too.
So, women seem to be plenty apt to tear everything down, scorched earth whenever they get upset about something. And we've trained them to be that way. And again, my whole point in everything is, what are we going to train our future generations to do? How are we going to teach our daughters to be the partners that they want to, you know, that will attract the type of relationships they want? Is behind you. Turn some more. Further. It's under that roof.
This?
No, it's up on the suitcase.
No, I don't see it. It's
Just-
okay. I got more. I just wanted to write a note down. Go ahead. Sorry.
Alright, so yeah, we train our daughters to basically turn into jerks, or whatever word you want to inject there, whenever they're upset, and make it the man's problem. And they're very justified in that. And I'm not saying it's super wrong. I mean, you need to let the guy know that you need something different, but I'm saying it might be counterproductive to clear the table at any opportunity you get. I think the skill in a relationship for a woman is controlling her emotions enough to not sweep everything off the table. Okay, so say the first part of a true commitment in relationship is laying placemats on the table, right? And then putting silverware down, and then plates, and then cups, and then you're about to bring out the salad, right? It's just one of the courses in the meal of a relationship, and you do something wrong, and the woman takes the opportunity to just clear the table, right? As a man, I cannot set salad now because I don't have any plates. I don't have a lot of stuff, right? And a woman thinks, okay, so I overreacted a little bit, I cleared the table. Can we just continue on from here? And I'm like, no, we can't. One, because as a leader, I know you have to build with a certain structure. You have to build a dinner table with a certain structure. So it wouldn't be proper to follow her idea or her lead as to say, let's just pick up where we left off. Then we just have salad all over the table, which is not that it's not edible, but it's not proper etiquette for how I'm trying to build a table, you know what I mean? Or build a meal with you. So what we run into, or what I've run into, is women are more than willing to clear the table when they get upset, and then ask me why I spend so much time trying to reset everything back up. And I'm stuck in a certain place where it's like, I hear you want salad, but I need to put these plates down. I need to explain this thing in a structure so that we don't continue to knock the plates off the table if the ultimate goal is to get to steak and cake, and we can't even get the salad down. So I can't run a relationship dessert first. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's my analogy of how a relationship and actually arguments go. And I believe that the skill in it is when a woman can realize oh man, my feelings are hurt or something happened. No salad right now, rather than clear everything.
Yeah.
You know, and so I've run into a lot of people who clear everything, but with you do less clearing. Maybe you'll knock over a cup just to show that you're pissed.
Like a cat.
Right, yeah. But you don't
Still diabolical, but
right. You don't clear the table. I don't have to reset the foundation
yeah.
on what's going on. So what do you think about that?
First off, when you came up with that analogy when we were discussing it yesterday, I was like, that's so good. Like, really, it is. I'm a big visual person and visual learners, like things like that. Like, oh yeah, I can actually process that now and like put it in my mind, and I will actually probably think now, don't clear the table. But I also want to throw in there that about the same time that I started a relationship with you, I also started like a huge growth pattern with myself too. I realized there was a lot of things in my life that I needed to shed and get over and really look at and deep dive the shadow work, if you will, and all those things. So
Before you go on,
yeah.
let's pause for the wine. You gotta take these flavors in. I remember there was like a chocolate and a red fruit.
I smell the red fruit. I smell a little pear too.
Yeah, there's like a dark chocolate, sharp red fruits, some light pear, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Continue.
But so I think it was really helpful that in the process of trying to build the relationship, I was also trying to rebuild myself. But and so some of these things I don't just put in our relationship, I also relate to other aspects of my life too. But anyhow, so the first thing is, you're right. I've done this with you. I probably still do it on some level, but I try to be a lot more respectful about it. And I know why, but I don't know why. When you break it all down and you see exactly what we're doing as women to men, it's honestly kind of painful.
For women?
For me, like the fact that I do things purposely to hurt you or whoever. It might not be you. It might be my boss. It might be a coworker. It might be.
But let's focus on relations.
Yeah, but women. The basis is like women and men think completely different, right? Like a lot of times the disconnect is basically because I'm mad at you because you're not seeing it my way, but that's because my way isn't the way you're seeing it at all, and that's correct. But instead of understanding that, we just get mad, and so then we get focused on our feelings. And our feelings in the moment are, I'm hurt, I'm lonely, I'm angry. And instead of bringing something to you to help me with that, or to even like bring it to you to hear it, I want you to feel it.
Right.
I want you to feel where I'm at. And I don't know why that's so important that you, like, to us, that men have to, especially our partners, have to really feel where we're at. Like, there's no other emotion but mine in this room right now, and if you can't meet me right here in this emotion, then you are not doing your job.
Right. So that thing about that is you trying to make me feel what you feel, or a woman trying to make a man feel the pain that he's caused her, basically, inadvertently.
Super manipulative.
Right, is manipulative. And the thing about it is, as I believe, with our limited view of the truth, whatever we saw that we thought pissed us off, we only saw it from our vantage point. How many times have you been wrong about what you thought you saw or pissed you off? And you don't find that out until you open your mouth and communicate with that person, and they're like, oh no, that's not how that went, or this is, or even if it was like, actually, my need was slightly more emergency than your need, so I had to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And now you can see from their point of view. But instead of just only seeing what you see, you don't comprehend that maybe they had something real going on over there that forced them to have to make the choice they made. And it wasn't even about you or trying to hurt you.
Right.
Right. So.
Completely different. I think the part that hurts when we think about it is women out here in the world trying to make everybody get to our emotional level and not respecting anybody's, like you said, perspective in that. is that we're really out here just trying to scorch the world down. Like, and when it comes to our relationships, I feel like our husbands and our boyfriends and our, you know, in some cases our fathers, our sons, our whatever, get the worst of it. And when you realize, when you really sit with this stuff and you think about it, yeah, I was like, damn, like, I'm so sorry. I really am. Because that's just, I'm not even treating you like a person at that point. I'm not even respecting the value of what you might be feeling, or it doesn't, because in that moment, we don't care. Like you said, it's completely manipulative, and you don't care. The whole point of the argument at that point is, yeah, I'm going to sweep off the table. I'm going to threaten to leave. I'm going to say I can't do this. I'm going to say you don't understand. There's no point of understanding in there. All we want you to do is be a yes man at that point, and we're not happy until we get it. And I think you being patient enough to show me that that's really wrong in any type of relationship or anyone that you really interact with.
Yeah.
It's not, you know, we talk about not being fair. It's really not fair though, because like you can't expect somebody to ever be on the same page or the same level as you, even if it doesn't matter who they are. We're different, all of us.
Yeah. So, coming from a place where you only see red, you have to realize the importance of not reacting, sitting back, assessing what's going on, cooling down, and then making a choice. And a lot of women are knee-jerk. When they feel something, they say something. They're ready to slap somebody or yell at somebody at any moment, and they're trained to be that way. So.
And then a lot of us just come back with like our tail between our legs, and like you said,
well,
expect it. Well, but then we still are kind of like a little soft, right? Like we know we did something, but hardly ever do you get an apology.
And that's when you say, "I just would like some salad, please." And I'm like, "Well, the table is broken in half. Where do you want me to put the salad?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
You lit the table on fire.
So yeah, that's for sure something that we need to untrain women.
Yeah.
As in being a partner, you don't have the right to basically down talk on your man, treat him like he's your son or something, just because you're upset. That's not a good enough reason to ruin everything that he's trying to build. Now, the fact is a man is trying to set the best table he can set in a relationship. If his table isn't fancy enough for you, you should be going to a different restaurant. You shouldn't be in this one. You shouldn't be eating at this table. You know, you should know that about your man. And if it is enough for you, then you should stop resetting the table every time you're pissed off.
I think, so the phrase, holding everybody hostage with your emotions is what we like to do.
Yeah.
We're going to take total control of the situation. And there's no other right way except my way. And I think the problem I was having with that concept was because of my personal issues. I don't know how this relates to everybody else or whatever, but you know, I came from a family where that's how we talk to each other.
That's the modus operandi.
Yeah, that's how the whole family situation is. The person who can hold everybody's emotions hostage the best is the person winning the game, because they're the one holding the torch. So I came about that so honestly even more, and I inundated that into my life. Man, there's a reason people used to call me the B word. Like seriously. But like realizing, you know, I had to put up boundaries with that game too. But I think for me it was hard to even get to the level of like wanting you to understand calmly where I'm coming from, or giving you the benefit of the doubt because of where that was at, and also because it felt like in some ways I was self-abandoning myself. And I think women get confused with that idea too. They think that if you can't get on our emotional level, we're somehow abandoning our ideas, which is not the case at all.
Well, it's not the case, but then part of that is, yes, you do need to abandon your ideas of what the hell you think is supposed to be going on in order to follow a man sometimes.
But we're confused in the idea that this holding everybody everybody emotional hostage is actually abandoning ourselves.
Well, yeah.
But it's
That's your native tactic, maybe, or a tactic that you learned.
right.
It's worked well in certain arenas in life. It might actually work well in the workplace or at school or in college or whatever, but in your friend group. But when it comes to a man, especially a man that loves you, it's like you fighting with fire, and
Yeah.
masculine men just don't fight with women. So it's basically like, okay, well then I'll just get quiet for sake of not trying to rile you up more or add more fuel to the fire, but at the same time, I'm still not able to put salad down
Yeah.
until we can, establish
Until we put these bowls back
where
down.
everything is. Yeah, and so,
It was a really hard lesson to learn.
yeah,
I'm still, I'm not perfect, not great at it, but I'm way more willing to think before I speak and to honestly just not want to cause you that type of pain because it hurts.
yeah. It would be, again, the funny thing about women trying to get men to be more like women, or women trying to compete to be the man in a relationship, is if you really felt the weight of, like,
So then
emotion.
realizing that too, so like take it a step further. I'm not the only person doing this. You're dealing with this.
But even
You
if
want
it
to
is,
you want to throw your mom or your sister or a waitress or any woman that you interact with on a daily basis into that ball game.
Yeah.
You deal with that. So, and I'm the woman over here telling you that I love you, but I'm still treating you like every other person out there.
right, and so, again, many people want to be married but not want to be a wife. You aren't ready to study your man. You aren't ready to change for him. A lot of women are take me as I am situation, and that's acceptable, but they aren't offering take me as I am. And they're not offering lead me either. Women combating to be in a man's position. If you find that you're leading your man, you lose attraction to him. But if you do maintain attraction to him, you get tired of doing what we're supposed to be doing. And again, dealing with the emotional weight of women is exhausting, but I will do it every day.
Mm-hmm.
Every day. I don't have any off days. I would never, wish for that. So it's just a part of being a man. And it sucks and it's painful, but I wouldn't ever try to raise a young boy to not experience that and think he could have a complete life or be successfully a part of a relationship without being able to carry the weight of a woman's, highest and lowest emotions at any given point in time. Now, the relationship does get beautiful. 70% of a relationship is having a relationship, which is done by the man. The 30% that makes it beautiful is when a woman starts to realize, oh, you know what? What you see here about how I go through things, you think, I don't want to make it that hard. I want to do less of that. That makes a relationship so much more beautiful, so much more recharging, to feel appreciated, to be even understood in the slightest bit about how I don't need you to flip the table just because you're pissed. You could just say, hey, can we circle back on this?
So I want to clarify that that doesn't mean that I don't speak my feelings, or that I'm like, we'll deal with this in 2 days, or I put off whatever.
Yeah.
Or I don't get resentful about it. What it means is, in the moment, I'm still honest about how I'm feeling, but instead of trying to eviscerate you in the moment and make you feel what I'm feeling because I feel so justified in that moment, it's more like, hey, this is really upsetting to me right now, but I'm at like a 5 out of a 10. You know what I mean? Like, this is where I'm at. And I just need you to be honest about this fact or whatever, or it could be, I know this is rubbing me the wrong way and I really don't know why, but I can't let it go, and so I need to talk to you about it. And it's just being honest, to be like, look, I don't always enjoy your behavior or who you are, but honestly, you probably don't always enjoy my behavior, who I am either.
Right.
Like,
I think
and
women,
so it's also remembering that factor, right?
women fail to see that they aren't perfect because they comprehend the world as, if I think this is true, everybody should think this is true. That's their natural training, is to think this is logical, everybody should think this. Which is why,
But choosing to come to you, even angry, but honest and vulnerable, and realizing, you know, like I have to tone it down. I have to take a breath. I have to remember the table. I have to remember the things, you know, like, does this really, I think walking myself through, does this really reflect where we're going? Is this, whatever is going on, is this really, really doing something other than just making me feel some way emotionally?
yeah,
You know, like, is it really a moral thing that we haven't already pre-established in this relationship? Or, you know, like, is it going over some personal boundary that I have? Or is it that you're really not meeting some type of need that I have right now? And if it's none of those things, which 99.9% of the time
yeah,
it is, it's really just me needing you to hear how I feel. And you can tell people how you feel without scorching the earth.
yeah. So that is a funny thing about communication and how much women very much say how important communication is, but very much fail to even begin to put anything in a communication jar. It's all telepathic, it's all, you know, sign language, and none of that means anything when it's real communication. It is, this is how I feel about this, you know. Cool, so here's what I can do for that, and here's what I can't do for that. Okay, so in the future, maybe I'll do this instead of that. You know, but at the end of the day, most issues that we have in life are self-inflicted from our own vantage point. And so most things that you have issues with, you just need to say them and hear them being said, and not have somebody dive on you or respond in a negative way, so that you can process it through out loud. And that's, I have to be willing to do that whenever, you know. And I don't know, it's not, because it's not me who's fixing you. You know, and I'm gonna accept you broken or fixed. So, yeah. So that's the table. It's the thing that I'm starting to adapt to the idea of, because I never thought about the idea of a table, but even my fellas in DC, they talk about sitting at the table with each other. And so, yeah, it's something that I'm starting to adapt now. And when you come to the table, you come to whatever I'm bringing to you,
Then you're able to put more on the table.
right?
So that's
I
the
can
other,
finish the meal. I
Right.
can finish presenting everything I want to present to you, as long as you don't.
rip off the
Yeah,
plates and
right.
throw them and
And
then
you allowed
start
to
burning the
pause.
table.
Yeah, right. It's like, hey, we just had some
Sometimes
salad.
there's not even a table left.
Right. We just had some salad. Now we got some bread, and I'm a little full. Let's pause before we go to the main course. Whatever that might be, or whatever that looks like in a relationship, it's not like a race to dessert or anything. It's just,
No.
but it all comes out. And the idea of any man serving a woman is to finish the course, do everything that I can to get you to that place, and then maybe that may be just the year one of the relationship. Year two, we got a different table setting, we got a different environment, we're serving a different meal in year two. You know what I mean? And it's throughout the whole course of the year that we spend that time,
Maybe I became a vegetarian.
you know,
instead of,
establishing
like,
that. Yeah, and that could mean becoming a vegetarian, could mean, hey, perhaps something in your life has changed and you need to have an accountability partner for running.
Yeah.
So that's part of the table that I'm setting, is that I am either going to meet you there or hire somebody to be there with you to help sure that you can meet this goal, because you might have a race at the end of the year or something. You know what I mean? You tell me what you need, I put it on the menu, I figure out how to cook it and serve that to you. That's very much it. You know, and for us, all we need is to be appreciated for it. You don't need to cook a meal back for me. You know what I mean?
I think that's the other thing, right? So it goes back to the idea that, like, when you think of the fact that we treat everyone as women in our lives like this, especially men, and then men are even more treated by every single person that they come in contact with this way, and so the person that they need to especially be appreciated by is their wife or their girlfriend or the person that they're providing for, because they're not getting it anywhere else.
Yeah.
Absolutely not getting it anywhere else. And so if you are also part of that equation, nah, you're always going to be an outsider or a girlfriend. You're never going to get to that wife level, because wife level means being able to see and hear and really feel who your man is.
Right. I would say because we gravitate towards appreciation, it becomes something that if it's always there, we can't live without it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's how you become a wife, is you become irreplaceable. You know what I mean? Like, I really need to feel that appreciation. I know where to get it from.
Being appreciated even when the things are crappy.
Right. Even when I make a mistake and you're not ready for the next course in the meal, but you appreciate that I've set the table, done everything else, and
so we're just gonna
the
be like,
appetizers
hey,
were okay, so I'm not gonna throw it on the floor. Like, yeah.
Yep.
That's appreciation. It's appreciation for things I've done already and things I'm going to do.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not just what are you doing right now? Everything else doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that is a huge thing to realize, because we know as men, like I always do the analogy of anniversary watches. If we both bought each other watches for our 10-year anniversary, on the 11th year, I'm going to have to get you something better than the watch. But you don't have to give me anything for another 10 years. This would be my watch. I'm happy about it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still glad I got this watch from you. Whereas I better be one up in that, you know, in order to continue to surprise you and show you that you're more special than you were the year before. You know what I mean? And that's how we operate differently. So appreciation
that's
for
good to know. No, I'm just
yeah,
kidding.
but you know what I mean? Like, if you were to get me a watch on my dream list, I wouldn't expect you to do anything else for at least 10 years. Like, that's how I feel about it.
It would take me 10 years to buy you the
That's
type
what I
of
mean.
watch you
It'd
like.
be like that, right? So it would mean that much to me, though. So
Yeah.
we just do it differently. We remember things differently. We appreciate things differently. But the trust in the plan, the trust in the menu, the trust in me being the chef and laying out the table and everything is because I'm not just doing it for entrees or appetizers. I'm doing it for the whole course. I'm trying to get all the way to January to December, you know, dessert, and then start a new meal for the next year, you know, respectively. So that's kind of how that should look.
100%. And again, in realizing in the ways that I wasn't doing those things and like how hurtful it really is, like.
Yeah, it hurts.
It does.
But that's not an excuse for a man to meet a woman in her.
Right, so then I still feel like, I mean, all of us women come by that so honestly. But then I do think there's women who abuse that power as well.
Yeah.
And just do it because they can. And so then they're never willing to ever look at how their own behavior might affect it, because in their opinion that's just what you're supposed to do and you're just supposed to take it, and they don't have to ever apologize for it. But then they wonder why, you know, now you want to go spend Friday nights with the boys, you know, instead of picking up the phone and talking to them, or why they're not, you know, it's just different things. It depends on your relationship, whatever, you know. And it because if you're not willing to do those things, it's okay, but like now he's got to go get that appreciation from somewhere else.